and wants. This encompasses purchasing food, clothing, taking public transportation, watching films, or dining out. So there are four characteristics of consumption. First is utility. This is the act of consuming, driven by the utility or satisfaction people get from using goods and services. Utility, utilizing, using. And then second is diversity. Consumption is extremely varied, covering both necessary goods such as food, clothing, shelter, and non necessary items like luxury goods and entertainment. So, the wide array of items people enjoy and wish to own shows how people have multitude of different desires and preferences. And then nature, it tends to occur in cyclical patterns, and these patterns are influenced by factors like income, seasons, holidays, and stages of life. So, what we want, what we desire for, our needs or wants somehow also depend on our personal nature, such as our um, capacity to buy things, seasons, holidays. So, for instance, people tend to spend more during holidays, during Christmas, during December. And then impact on demand. When people buy more things, it helps the economy grow and do well. If people buy less or purchase less, the economy can slow down or even have problems. So that is under consumption. People consume things. So those are the characteristics of consumption. And then production pertains to the making of goods and services through a range of processes and activities. It spans from manufacturing and farming to service sectors like healthcare, education, and entertainment. Production is the initial step that brings forth the goods and services ready for consumption. So there are also characteristics of production such as resource utilization, specialization, economic growth, innovation, and supply and demand. So in resource utilization, this is about how production makes use of various resources. Specialization, this is when people or companies concentrate on producing specific goods or providing certain services. Economic growth, this is about how the level of production in an economy can influence its growth. Increased production can lead to more jobs. Increased production can lead to higher incomes. And then innovation. This is about how production processes can evolve and improve over time. And then supply and demand. This is about how the level of production is influenced by supply and demand. Producers aim to meet the demand of consumers and maximize their profit. So there are also factors affecting consumption and production. I think all of us are already familiar with this. You will encounter this a lot on the second semester on the topic of globalization, economic commissions, globalization, demographics, income distribution, and then psychological consumption. So, psychological consumption means buying and using things based on feelings and experiences. I think a lot of us are doing this. We buy things because of how we feel. We're trying to look at emotions because in psychological consumption, it looks at how your emotions affect what you choose to buy. So, first is emotional gratification. Sometimes people purchase luxury items to reward themselves or to satisfy a feeling of self worth as a way to hit the spot emotionally, like feelings of happiness, joy, or even a sense of belonging. So, people don't just buy luxury items, they seek an emotional boost. These purchases serve as powerful rewards that elevate self worth and ignite feelings of happiness, pride, and even confidence. So, owning something luxurious can fill emotional gaps. So, beyond personal satisfaction, luxury goods often symbolize that you belong in a certain exclusive community. And then, creating memories. Depth and meaning are added to the process by experiences that come with spending on something. It is not just about owning items, it's about the experiences it brings. This can show up in different ways, from enjoying the atmosphere of a fancy restaurant to the excitement of using the latest tech gadget or just buying something special for someone special. So, splurging is often much more than spending money, it's much more than that. It's about crafting meaningful moments that linger. So when people indulge in something special, they're investing in experiences that enrich their lives. Sometimes, notice how we make jokes. Kira na basta kay ang memories mo last man forever. Somehow we justify our spending and splurging because we know that certain experiences would last in our memories. And then expressing oneself. So the items a person chooses often reflect his or her identity, values, and goals. So for example, a person who cares about the environment might choose eco-friendly products. Or a tech enthusiast. I think all of us have a friend who are really into technology, really into gadgets. So a tech enthusiast might surround themselves with the latest gadgets, updated types of phone models to demonstrate their love for innovation. And then social signaling. So often people buy certain products or have specific experiences to show their status, affiliations, or lifestyle choices. So even the choice of a smartphone or a smartwatch can signal tech savviness and modernity. And then escapism. In some cases, we spend money to temporarily get away from the pressures and stresses of everyday life. I think there are instances wherein even if or there are instances when we are very stressed and we are struggling, there's the tendency then that we would say nga, mo gastos ako kay gusto ko mag-chill, gusto ko maginhawa, gusto ko makalimot sa real life. So, for example, a person might go shopping to relieve stress or boredom. Somehow, spending is our way to escape from reality. Sometimes we go to coffee shops, we spend for expensive food, we buy things we don't even need, we splurge a little because you want to get away from the stress and the demands of the real world. That is escapism. And then loyalty to brands. So people often become loyal to brand because they have had good experiences with it. Sometimes notice how we buy things because we know that that brand provides quality products. And then customization. When people can adjust products or experiences to their preferences, these strengthen their emotional connection and satisfaction. So some brands offer customization services. So have you ever received gifts that have been customized? Bags, pens, mugs. Those require effort, time, creativity, and more importantly, it has an emotional connection. That's why people tend to go for customized gifts or products. And then subjectivity, what is considered satisfying or fulfilling in terms of consumption can vary greatly from person to person. So, in other words, what one person finds emotionally satisfying in his or her consumption choices may not hold the same appeal or satisfaction for another person. What can be good and admirable and quality product for me can be different for you. And then, apart from psychological consumption, there's also what we call sociological consumption. So, it's not just about individuals, though, it's also looking at how behaviors reflect and influence social norms and relationships. So, a society that values newness and speed is reflected by the trend of fast fashion, where clothes are produced cheaply and discarded quickly. So, characters of sociological consumption. First is social status and class. So this is about showing others how wealthy or important you are. For example, driving a luxury car, wearing designer clothes. It sends a message. No, I think all of us recognize certain celebrities who really are consistent in wearing designer clothes because that is their extension of themselves, that is their class distinction. And then cultural significance. What people want to buy depends a lot on their culture. So, different traditions, we all have different values and trends, which shapes what is valuable for us. And then consumer vulnerability. Not everyone has the same power or freedom when making buying choices. So some people might be tricked by advertising. A lot of us have been tricked in terms of advertising. Notice how it's easy for us to scroll through videos and then suddenly we show or we see advertisements online and then get redirected. Masyak ka lang ka, you're just scrolling through Facebook and then suddenly you are in a different website scrolling for different products. No, mga mabudol na dayan ta. That's consumer vulnerability. And then types of sociological consumption, conspicuous consumption. People buy expensive, flashy things. They want others to notice and admire them. That is conspicuous. And then second is ethical and sustainable consumption. People choose products that are good for the environment and are fair for the workers. So for example, I think especially during this generation, a lot of us are being critical and we're trying to look into the details of production if people are aware that, for example, child laborers are working on this company, then uso na ang mga boycott. For example, buying organic food, contrary to what I just mentioned. For example, buying organic food or eco-friendly brands helps both people and the planet. So if the company seems good, if the process is good, then people would support it. But if we hear something shady about the product or about the company, we don't support it. That's ethical and sustainable consumption. And then identity-based consumption. So this is when people use what they buy to express who they are. This could be through clothing, lifestyle, and then convenience, fast food. So people prefer quick and easy ordering groceries in apps. I do it a lot of times. We lack the time, we lack the energy, so at times we would prefer to order through online applications. That's out of convenience, through convenience in digital consumption. And then counter cultural consumption. Some people avoid popular trends and buy unique or simple things instead because they want to stand out. And then experiential consumption, as we have mentioned earlier, spending for experiences such as travels, concerts, workshops, seminars, learning, gaining knowledge. That's experiential. And then collective and communal, people share resources and experiences. So this helps build community and reduces waste. So, what is consumerism? We have been talking about this for a while now. So, when we are talking about consumerism, it's actually the idea that buying and owning lots of goods and services is very important for our happiness and success. So, consumerism encourages people